So KvK day one has started in my Kingshot server, 1455 versus 1433. A huge clash of whales and krakens and very strong, powerful alliances on both sides. So I am going to show you 5 days of prep phase. So the first thing I'm going to do is go through my bags and open everything. So today being day one, Truegold will be what I push the most. It is about construction, speed ups, as well as spending Truegold. There is also going to be governor charms. I have plenty of speed ups for construction, and I'm also going to get the buff from the king buff, so I'm going to have that extra 10% on top of having the daily kingdom buff. So that's going to be really helpful for me to push as much true gold as possible. The maximum of my server is TG5 right now, so I'm hoping to get everything at TG5. Now, in terms of chests, you can see here that I have a ton of these chests, so I am going to do what I've done in the past, which is open 100 at a time. And every time you open 100, you should find one orange one. Now, is that just random luck? Most likely, RNG is RNG no matter how you do it, but it has never failed me yet, and I have gotten more than one orange piece by doing this. It is a 1% chance, so it should be this way. However, you can see that sometimes you get more than one. Now, I've done most of them. Let's do 600 at once, just because, so I should have at least 6, and, well, I do. I have way more than 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So maybe doing more at once is better. I don't really know. I don't really care. I'm just using it all. So I'm going to open pretty much everything. I've saved all these items over 2 months because last KvK we barely pushed because the enemy did not show up. So all of this has been saved. Some of it I don't even care about, like it's not even for pushing, but again, I just saved everything nonetheless. So I am now going to open everything. No matter what it is, I'm opening it. And I like doing this where every KvK I save on things and I open everything at once, just because. Now these chests is very nice. I like these, and I've been obviously saving them for a long time. So this is going to give me a lot of this Court of Knowledge one. And these ones are all just the random ones you get from attacking beasts and stuff. Now, this one is special because it's Pan's chest, which means that this is why you should level up your Pan as much as you can, especially free-to-play players. So you can see that in 2 months, I've gotten about 750. So that's very good. And opening this much, like, it's very decent amount. 220 true gold is a lot, and 15,000 gems and stuff. So it's not like insane amounts, but it's decent. Like, it's really good. And this is from leveling a master, and it's a passive skill that you don't have to do anything. Every time he gathers, he basically gives you that. Now, this is the one for Roman, which is also just as good in my opinion. There's a lot of speed up and a lot of very valuable mythic shard and forge armor, so it's very good. These chests are very good. Now, some of these are just like, you know, little trash green chests that I've gotten from fishing. I won't open everything here because some of it I'll open when I need it. These mystic hero gear chests doesn't really matter because I'm going to use all of it to make red gear, so it doesn't matter how I do it. Now, looking down here, I have quite a lot of other items that I'm going to use as this KvK progresses, of course, for the prep phase. And I am going to level up a lot of masters and stuff. I have a lot of tokens and a lot of stuff saved up and emblems and all that, so that I'm going to use them when it comes to time. Today is also day one, which means charm is one of the things you can do. So you can see that I have almost 3,000 of these and 2,300 of these ready for charm leveling up, which I am going to do today. A lot of gear as well here for the governor gear, hero gear, mithril, which is very nice, and a lot of enhancement XP that I don't have to save for KvK. It doesn't give any point, but I still save just for fun. And then almost 2,500 mythic shards, which I'm going to use, not all of them for this KvK, but I'm going to use a lot of them for Arcarp and for Margot this KvK. Now, here on the screen, you can see this is a guide that I made. Now, I used a template that people use in game where they share everything to do daily in KvK, but this is kind of a good template to look at what is good to level up on certain days of KvK, and it gives a good overview of that. So take a screenshot here or save this video for that. One other thing worth mentioning is that KvK happening at the same time as an event like this is actually insanely valuable. If you ever have a KvK like that, it's time to go all out, because you can see that while I wouldn't normally use a lot of gems and speed ups for this event specifically, I got 10,000 of these bars by pushing TG stuff that I was going to push anyways. Now I can transform all of these bars into reward by using this, you know. Now the rewards are not worth millions of gems or anything, but it's just completely free extra additional reward, and can make it a very good way of getting the skin, the 12,500 skin, for a lot less spending on terms of pack and gems and speed up, because you are using them anyways for something else. So just something to keep in mind if you ever have events like that at the same time. It makes this KvK even double value for pushing. Now this is day one today, so construction is going to be the name of the game. Truegold, charm, and the speed ups for Truegold. And then the last thing is also master skills. You can use speed ups to level up their skill to be ready to upgrade the skills, but not use anything today. You just use the speed ups, not the actual items. So now my next step is going to be leveling up all my buildings. You can see that there is the Kingdom of Fire buff, as well as the Groundworks buff, which is the Kingdom buff. And I have a reservation coming for the position here, which gives me 10% more construction speed. So that will give me a good amount of buffs, like over 25% just from these. So here we go. The position is going to be mine now. Perfect. There we go. I got the buffs now. So first thing first, I'll activate double time. And then we come here, activate the pet. Now I have all the buffs that I want here. Now I will now start upgrading. That's pretty much it. So of course I get all this blah blah. Now these packs are not always very good, to be honest, but you know, some of them are valuable. Now, as I said, I'm going to be speeding up things. I don't really care. Like, you get the basic helps like the first second or two because people have the pack that makes them help you. But then after, I'm just going to be going for it. Especially they're 9 hours, and I have, you know, a good amount of speed ups here. I have 53 days of construction speed ups alone on top of general speed ups, but I don't want to use the general ones. But construction speed ups, like, this is not even a day. So I'm gonna get everything that I can as high as possible. And this one, you know, a town center, like, I've gotten enough helps, like 15. That's all I'm going to get right now. So there's no reason to wait. Like, at this point, of course, the longer you wait, if you don't have the buffs, it's fine. But you're saving so much with the percentages from the buffs that waiting for a few hours off with the help, it matters less in the late game now. And now we have Xander getting HS Void Star 2. So obviously, congrats to him. That's a massive achievement there. Now, I also look at my power. You know, I was at close to about 180 million. So close, like 179, I think, 178 something. So we'll see how much that gets me into this whole event. I'm going to get at least a few million just from the building itself because these buildings come with a lot of power. So we'll just finish this one up very quickly. Okay, here we go. This is max now TG5. Great. Now that all the buildings for the troops is going to be what I do next. That is going to be my priority. So, you know, let's just get it all. There's no point in really waiting. The speed ups are so quick and I have so many more of the construction speed up. So the only time I would consider going a bit slower is if I run out of construction speed up, because I don't want to use general speed ups on building too much. It's of course worth it to get TG5 troops because that's one of the most important thing you can do as like a joiner, a free-to-play, any kind of player in the game. The TG troops are going to be your biggest power. They are going to give you the most edge for your game because you're joining a rally from a player that's a whale, and your heroes don't really matter except the one joiner skill. Your gear, your charms, all that stuff doesn't really matter as much. It takes the stats from the leader of the rally. However, your troop, the TG level, it is being used by the rally leader. So having the best type of TG troops possible is a really good difference and is why you should focus on TG as one of your main priority for any account that's not leading rallies and garrison. If you're joining others, which, let's be honest, in a castle battle, that's about 90%, 95% of players, which is where it matters. So TG is definitely your priority. Now I'm done with those two, TG5 already, so that's pretty good. And we will see now how much speed ups and TG. So I've gone through about half of my Truegold, so it cost me to go from TG3/4 to almost TG5 everything cost me over 4,000 Truegold. And I think by the end it will be closer to 5,000, but that's not too bad because then I can keep some Truegold for the other buildings, but also for the academy, which is going to be another whole research for troops to get even stronger. And that's going to come pretty soon, to be honest, in the 20 days, I think, for my server. Now I have 4,000 left and I have plenty of speed ups, I think, still. So as you can see here, not that many, but I still have a good amount. So here I can use it for my embassy to be level 5 because the embassy does make a good difference on your account, and you needed level 5 to do anything else afterwards when the next levels of TG will come, which is going to be all the way up to 8. That's going to be the last one here. So my infirmary is at level 4 now, and then the command center is going to be what I do the most of next. Just every time is a more rally capacity, so the stronger my rally, the better. I'm not a rally leader, but I still have a decent impact in swordland and stuff like that, so might as well, you know, finish it off. I'm so close to TG5 and it's 67 TG every time. I mean, it's so small. So that will be it. And yeah, I'm going to use some general speed up just for the last 2 levels because it's 10 hours anyways. There we go. Don't show. Bye-bye. There we go. Now, and it's pretty much that's over. So I have gained 15-ish million power from pushing all of that Truegold. But I am officially now a Truegold 5 account for now. And I have a good amount of Truegold, almost 3,000 Truegold left, which I'm going to save for sure. And then speed ups wise, I use basically 55 days of construction speed up and a few days of general, but like less than a day basically. So that was that for the Truegold. Now I have access to all my troops on our TG5, which is great. You don't have to do anything else than level it up. But at TG5, they get even stronger with more stats and all that. Now I can do the charms. So the charms are going to be very important as well. So if you followed my other videos, I am currently going to go into a 60-40 garrison setup, which means 60% infantry, 40% cav. So I am going to right now focus on mostly infantry and cav charms. I am thinking of putting my archer at level 4 because, you know, the higher level you go, the more expensive it is. So right now I can get all of these leveled up for a very cheap amount. As you can see, I have so much. So it's going to cost me less than like 20% of all my charms to get everything at level 4. But then everything else is going to go into the infantry and the cavalry into like level 5 and plus. I did run this through the optimizer, and this is kind of what it told me to do anyways. So for those of you who are not familiar with the optimizer, it's a website that kind of like you put everything you have and it tells you your best gain for account. As you can see, I have the infantry already, some at level 4 and stuff. So I'm going to get everything infantry at level 5. And then I'm going to do the rest in cav mostly. So, I mean, I had a lot of saved up, but it goes 300 a pop here, so it goes very quickly. But in this case, from what I can gather, getting everything leveled up evenly-ish is the best bet. And infantry is almost always going to be your priority otherwise outside of that, because infantry is always good. Even no matter what meta you're using, there's infantry being used. So now I'm going to use the rest here to make sure that I have the next level here. So all level 6 on this one. And then everything else is level 4, and then this one's level 5. So I think, to me, that's pretty good. I gained another, I think, 2-ish million, 2.5 million power here. So you can see that I am now at 28 million point for day 1. So ranking number 5 for the ladder. So, I mean, not too bad considering the level of whaleism that I am, which is not very high. I mean, I'm a spender, but I'm nowhere near these whales at the top. So I'm pretty happy with my score. The last thing you could do, which I'm not going to do much of, is the master skill. You could use the speed ups on them. So that means that you can prime your skill. So it's really important that you don't upgrade them. So you can see right now, all of my skills here are ready to upgrade, but my XP is way past the amount that I need. And this is what I mean. So for example, this one I can speed up. Like I have all these speed ups, so there's no reason not to use them. And then you can see that now I'm getting all these skills. So let's say I want to level up this skill further. I can put like, let's say 3 days in it. You can also do 5 days. And then this means that when I am ready to upgrade them, which is day 2 and day 3 of KvK, I will have the experience required. I just have to spend these books, and you know, that's going to be it. I can level up the hero and spend the books. So that's why using the speed ups on this day is pretty beneficial. And let's say, for example, this skill as well I could do, and then you can just do it like, you know, I'm already almost max. Once this is done, that means I can't level it up anymore. I have the amount of XP that I need to level up this skill to the max level that it has. So I'm going to, of course, focus Cassia in my boost. So that's going to be on day 2 and day 3. So that's why I'm currently going to use all my speed ups for her. And like I'm out of speed ups now for the master. So I'm going to finish what I have, but that's it. Like I have 3 days that I could push, and that's a good amount of points, but that's it. Like I just used all of the training speed ups that I have for masters. And you can see that now I'm ready to upgrade so many skills because I've done this for a while now. I've just let them grow. Just very important. Don't upgrade this skill, because on day 2, you can see this is where you get manuscript and emblem. Spending them, so leveling up the master and leveling up its skill, this is where you get the points for it. So this is why I'm waiting for these days to do the rest. So that's about it for day 1. So you can see that we're pretty close. It's been an up and down fight depending on which well's awake and who's pushing and all that kind of stuff. So it's going to be an interesting battle. As you can see, everybody's pushing a lot of power. Everybody's pretty close. So we'll see what it looks like on the next few days. Xander is going pretty crazy here. So day 2 is now here. You can see on day 1, it was a close fight, but we won by a small margin. Now day 2 is also very close. And this is a day where mostly it is hero focused. So hero roulette, as well as using shards to level up heroes. There's also construction and speed up and Truegold. However, we don't have the kingdom buff anymore, so it's less valuable than it was on the first day, but it's still doable for a decent amount of point. You also get stuff for gathering and for leveling up masters with emblem and manuscript, which is also available on day 3 if you would prefer, depending on if you can get the minimum points per day. Now, in my case, on day 2, I will be doing the hero roulette as well as using the hero shards for sure. And I will still use my master's manuscript as well, because I don't really care about the minimum points. I'll be able to get every day's point because I have so much stuff saved up. So this is the first roulette of G4. So for my season, we now have G4 heroes, and this roulette also brings something new, in which that we now have the choice of different heroes on the roulette. So you get the last 2 roulette heroes available to you, I guess. So this is the season 2 or generation 2 hero of the roulette, and then generation 3, and then generation 4. It is not going to include generation 1, which would be Saul. However, I don't know if that's just for Saul or if it's only because it's the 3 current heroes and it's not going past that. We'll have to see about that in the future. Now, in my case, I will be rolling the roulette, always doing the 9 roll, because it is going to be the best bang for your buck. And I got pretty lucky. There are already 2 5s. However, there is going to be no contest. I'm just going to roll. Now, I'm not going to do too much more than the 120. I'm not really planning on maxing Rosa right away. She is gonna eventually replace Marlin. She is slightly better, but she'll need to be really leveled up. She'll need to be at almost 5-star. I'm gonna need to level up her widget in order for her to replace Marlin, because my Marlin is currently fully maxed, and I will do it, but I'm gonna wait until I go through almost every roulette. So I'm gonna need at least 3 roulettes or 4 maybe before I even consider maxing her, because I'm not going to spend any tokens on her. I'm going to just do roulette, and the 120 here is so advantageous. And if you do this like 4 times, you basically max the hero, and you don't have to spend really much more than that. Now, the roulette at 120 gives you basically 1,000,000 points, as you can see here, so that's a good start. Now, what we get to do next is, in the heroes, we get to spend the shards. I did get some shards from Amadeus from VIP 11, which I just got very recently, so this is a very easy one. Now, until I get VIP 12, I won't be able to get him maxed, but he is very, very worth it, and these 3 shards might be very good for me. I'm not sure if I'm going to reach VIP 12 anytime soon, but doesn't matter. This is very easy. Now, in terms of other heroes, of course, Rosa, which I just got tokens for. So I got 177 tokens from doing the wheel, so that's really good. I am going to spend them all. There's no reason not to, really, and I'm not going to hold on to any of them. And this is still a good amount. It gets me right into the 3-star territory. Now, still, I'm not going to really use her or anything. Next, I have Alcar, which I have been getting a few tokens from him from doing the daily purchase, which, this is where I'm getting these shards a little bit. And I am going to also get a lot of shards from him from Kingdom of Power, and maybe Strongest Governor as well. So that means that at the end of this KvK, when I'm going to rank into the KvK and stuff, I'm going to get a lot of shards of him, right? Like, this is the reward of the season. There is no reason not to bring him at least at 4-star right now with my tokens, because I am going to need some of these tokens for that. So I am going to do that. This is the first time spending them, so I have 2459, almost 2500, and I'll redeem 300 to get 1 more star. So that's exactly what I need to get to 4-star. And here we go. He is now at 4-star. Now I'm going to do pretty much the exact same thing for Margot here, because of the same reason. Now for her, I need a little bit more because I didn't get anything from her. But you'll see here that I am able to get her to 4-star pretty easily. The one thing here to know is also the Hall of Heroes. Now she is available. I've bought a few of the packs for sure. I could be getting 200 shards right here for her. And also you could be getting a lot of the past heroes shard here and widgets, which is very valuable, especially for, lower heroes. Like, for example, Saul, my widget's not maxed. I could be buying 200 of the widgets here and max Saul, or even just himself, because he can get all these shards here. I could get 400 shards here for Jable or Saul. Now, again, I did spend money on buying some of the packs here. Like, I went all the way here. I didn't buy this one, but I also spent always the gems, and this is a very high value spending, in my opinion, to get these heroes and save some of your general shards. Now, my goal for her is still just getting her to 4-star, just because they become pretty usable at 4-star. All the skill become usable. Doesn't mean it's going to replace all my heroes right away, but it's better to be patient that way. I'm not a garrison leader. I don't need her max tomorrow morning, but getting all of this, means that I can do this and I can do all of these skills. I have been saving up a lot of these books for that. She's also very good on the arena/conquest side, so no reason not to upgrade these skills as well. Now, same thing for Alcar. He is going to be very good when I max him up, which I am going to do eventually. So get all these skills up, get all these skills up. Now, one other thing is great here, the Hero Ascension Fund, something new. I am able to claim a lot of rewards because I leveled up, all of my heroes a little bit. So you can see the amount of reward you get for leveling up heroes is massive. Now, of course, you spend for the right side rewards, but even without spending, it's decent on a gem. But when you're spending, the amount of reward you get is huge, huge, huge value. Like, it's one of the highest value for money in the game currently, in my opinion, for a spender. especially if you're gonna get, past level like 10-ish. Now that brings me to about 5 million for everything I've done, and the last thing will be to do the masters. I have been saving up all of their research, so you can see all of their skills have the plus sign or the up sign, which means I can upgrade these skills now because I have so much of the research. So I have a lot of the materials as well, so this is when it's good to spend these guys, because I can get all these skills maxed. I have all the XP pre-saved, boom, all the way to level 10. This is why, if you watch my videos previously, you will see why it's a good idea to pre-do this XP, this learning. And, I used some speed ups on some of them yesterday. And, just make sure every day there's a cooldown running. Do the 5 days max all the time if you want. It will always work out. And then I'm going to, of course, upgrade all these skills here and all these skills here. Now, there is probably a few more skills that I have the XP for, but I can't upgrade because I need to upgrade the hero. So I'm also going to do that. Cassia is excessively expensive to level. She requires a lot of materials compared to others. So it is going to be, someone that I'm going to level up as much as I can, but it is going to be very expensive. So you can see I need 160 shards to get to level 6, which is massive. Now I have the shards and I can do it, but it is very, very expensive, as opposed to, for example, a hero like Roman or even Pan. It's requiring 45 to get him to close 3, which is very worth it. Like, I will do it. Like, I don't need that much. I have a lot, but he doesn't provide any power when it comes to PvP and stuff like that. So for me, Cassia does have a little bit of value there, even though I'm still not a whale or anything. But I am, going to be doing more stuff like Swordon and stuff. Like, so, it's worth doing some of this. And you can see now the next one is 200. So very expensive. I'm still going to do it, but that's going to be about all I can do. Because I won't be able to get to the next level. Like, I can still get the gift all the way up. Like, I need 123 to get to the next level, but next level is 240, and I'm not spending massive amount of money to get her max. But this still lets me get this skill up a little bit, and then I can, wait for this research and stuff to finish and get some of these other skills leveled up. I think this skill is also specifically very, very good for rally leaders. And now for the rest, it's about it. I can also do my research on Valora because I have 5 shards, so this is very small, but it is something I can do. Then the last thing I could do is, let's say, max out Pan. So I'll do this, and then I'll just finish up with this item because I don't want to waste any XP. There you go. And now I could max him up to 50, so, why not? It's very cheap, so I'll do it. And then my Pan will be fully maxed, all skills maxed, and the same exact way as my Valora is. So now I don't have to bother about Pan or Valora. 201 million power from this, almost 4 million power gain from what I just did. I'm ranked 10 with almost 13 million points for this one, so I'm pretty happy with that. We are now on day 3, which is the pet training day. As you can see, the fight is as close as ever, and the win was on the enemy side yesterday. So 1433 got the edge a little bit, so now we are pretty much dead even, as you can see down here. Now today it is pet training day, which is one of the most boring day because pet training is very tedious and boring task. You also get more Governor Charm, more Roulette, more Hero Shards, and more emblems for Masters. However, because I did most of this yesterday, I won't have much to do today. And Intel mission is also one thing. So as you can see, I've saved up my Intel missions from yesterday as well as my Pan missions. So I have a lot of them to do. This is a good strategy to get a lot of extra points for free, and it is a good way to get the minimum requirement points for the event if you're a free-to-play and are not spending a lot on these events. Now, regarding pets, there are more and more pets coming into the game, and I will eventually make a guide on all pets and all tips and tricks related to them. However, for this, I will try and level up some of my pets that are new to get the next level of their ability. I have quite a bit of materials, so if I can reach most of them at least at level 50 or 60, that would give me a good edge, as you can see here. So you are going to be limited and you're going to have to choose. Now, I have a lot of these, luckily, so I can level up this one. I like this gathering pet because of the talent, which is going to be now maxed at level 6. And then after that, this pet doesn't have to be leveled up anymore. And here we go, the skill's at level 6. However, because he's a purple pet, the skill goes even higher. So this is where you're going to have to decide. Now, the best pets are, of course, going to be the ones, like I said, with the stats. So I am going to catch up these new pets that I have, and I try and bring them all like around level 60 so that I have them all usable. My XP is limited. I won't be able to go unlimited. So even though I have a lot of these ones here, I will still need more XP to get them all to where I want to go. But getting it at level 50 here, 50 here, and then all the other ones with the stats are level 60. I think this gives me a good amount of edge. So I choose one first and then I'd level this one up. Now I'm going to have to use a lot of these materials for this, but which is exactly what I'm saving them for. And you will see now that I get this pet to the next level. And here we go. I'm out of all mats now, so it looks like what it is. Now, the next part of pet leveling day is refinement. And refinement, the way that is best to do is get everybody to the same level. So you can see that the first pet I have is at blue, second pet blue, blue. So I've put a lot of them at blue. Now the rest are green, and then the new ones that I just got are gray. So the goal is to bring everybody at blue. You bring the gray to green first, and then the green to blue. Then when everything is blue, you can go into purple. However, when you are using these marks at the bottom, the blue marks work very well all the way into purple. However, when you get to purple and after purple, it's going to become extremely hard to level. Every time you're going to do a refinement, it's going to often fail. And this is going to mean that you're wasting your time, especially if you're buying these with gems, or, you know, it takes a while to get all of these. So the best thing is that you don't use any of your orange ones until you really have to. So that's about it for pet day. Now I'm just going to level up this refinement and we will speed it up a little bit, and then we'll see exactly how many points I scored today. So that's about it for the pet training day. I also got a little bit of my missions done. So I'm at 3.8 million. You can see that today's day is again going pretty strong. We'll see what it looks like tomorrow. And personal ranking, you can see how some of these wells are, of course, going pretty hard. Now on day 4, hero development, but actually it is troop training day. You can see how close it still is. And we are at 4 billion point on both teams, which is very high score. And you can see that yesterday we won by only 24 million. So this is still as tight as ever. Now looking at today's phase, we have a lot of stuff. Governor Charm, Forge Hammer, Widget, and Mithril. However, most of these are available on day 5 except for the Governor Charm. So this is the last day for Governor Charm, but I did mine on day 1, so no need. Today I will do the Widgets, and then the rest is all troop training and gathering. So troop training is by far the biggest one for the day 4, and it is why I also have the reservation here for the Noble Advisor for the 50% training speed, which is very important as it gives a huge amount of speed up saving. Now looking at my speed ups, I do have almost 300 days of general speed up and over 41 days of soldier training, which means that I am most likely going to aim to do about half of this and all of my soldier speed up, because I do need troops from having transferred. I'm still low on troops. So first things first, for Widgets, now my Amadeus already has a level 10. My Marlin, I've been saving a little bit of these. I actually have more than I need, but I am ready to get him to his max widget. Even though I am going to replace him by Rosa eventually, it won't be for multiple weeks, as I won't level her up to the max until I have done a few wheels on her. So I can max his widget for now, and he's still good in arena for a long time. Petra, same thing. She's going to be one of the best bear hero for a very long time, so there is no issues with maxing her, and she stays a very good joiner and stuff, so she's still a good hero in general. Now Alcar and Margot are, I have a bit, like I'm not going to do a lot because I only have like 50, but I am going to do a little bit because, I mean, why not? They are going to be 2 of my main heroes, so I'm going to slowly level them up and take my time to get the most efficient amount of widgets without spending crazy amounts. For the other ones, it will be mostly for my Saul. So if you've watched my videos for season 4 generation 4 heroes, you will know that there is a very good match with Saul, who goes with Alcar and Margot, and I have gathered a lot of these from one of the recent events. So I am going to level his widget up because, I mean, I have them for it, and he is very relevant in season 4. Now I am missing 5, so the next Hall of Hero is when I'm going to be able to get a few more, but I have gotten it to almost level 8, so I'm pretty happy with that. Now from widgets alone, I got 3.5 million points, so not too bad at all. And now I just wait for my appointment here for my troops. So here we go. The buff is now live. So first things first, when you come here, of course, you'll finish what is actually queued. But going into the screen, it is also a good thing to activate this. This is really just a time-saving thing. It makes it so you can train way more troops at once. So it just saves you time. As you can see, I have a lot of these archers and a lot of infantry, but very few cavs. So I'm going to train quite a lot of cav to catch up, especially considering that my strategy for this season is going to be 60-40. So we will need a lot of cav. So now I'll just train about 200 days worth of speed up for all the troops, a little bit of other troops as well, but mostly cavs. And then we'll see how many points that will get. Okay, so let's look at how many troops I have now. So I've trained a good, I think, 300,000 to 400,000 troops total, and I now have a very decent amount of cavalry to go with my other troops. And looking at my backpack, I have used about 200 days worth of speed up, a little bit more than 200 days. I think I had about 320, so I'm close to 200 days of speed ups total for troops. And that is going to have given me 32 million points on this event. Now, there was a few millions from the previous widgets, but it's a very decent amount of points, especially for someone like me. I'm obviously not going to compete with people like Xander, who have pushed basically 4 times what I have. So now for today, we are at 53.47 and 51.49. So again, extremely close. It has been close the whole time and will be close all the way to the last minute. This day today is far from over. So let's see what it looks like in a few hours. So day 5, we are now on the last day of the KvK event. As you can see, the fight is as close as ever between 1455 my kingdom and 1433. We are 51 and 49 with over 6 billion points pushed on both sides. Today just started, so the scores are still very low. However, looking at all days, you can see that we've won 3, they've won 1, but every day has been a billion plus. And then yesterday, the troop training was 2.5 billion, which is complete insanity. Looking at the leaderboard, just as a quick overview, obviously Xander, one of our strongest well, is doing well. Alton Dread and Gray are 2 of their strongest wells, and you can see that every day it's been a lot of the same. And you can also see that on troop training day, these guys went crazy, pushing over 265. It's insane. Like, that is a lot. I pushed a good amount of troop, but like, I'm not even close. And then on the overall, Xander is top with a little bit of a margin, but these wells are at 500 million points each, which is complete madness. And I am at 18. My goal is to stay in the top 20, which I should be able to achieve considering the gap. I would like to be in the top 10, but the level is a bit too high there. But top 20 still gives me access to 40 Arcar Shards, which is a decent amount. It is the day where we do research. So you will see that research is here, the speed ups for research. You can also do more building, more troops, all that stuff, but it's really not as worth it, especially not the troops. Building is fine. It's just you don't have the kingdom buff. So why we do research on the last day is because we get the kingdom buff. Intel and gathering, that's always the same thing. Truegold, again, it's doable. You can finish up a few buildings if you haven't done it. So for me, I started my infirmary level 4, to get in Truegold 5. But the big one of the last day is going to be Governor gear and Hero gear for the Forge Hammer and the Mithril. So this is what I'm going to focus on, as well as research. And you will also see that widgets are part of it. I did mine yesterday. Pets are also still part of it, but I did mine on day 3. You can see I have a reservation for the Chief Minister to get the 10% research buff, which is not massive, but it's decent enough. So I am going to do some research. You can see now I have trained. I went down in resource significantly, but also in speed ups. I have still 86 days, which is very decent, and some as well speed up for the research. So I can do over 100 days of research speed up. I did spend over 200, I think, and 20 total days of training speed up yesterday. So that was really good. And now I will spend the rest on research. Research is often undervalued, how important it is, but it is very good. So here you go. I have the Chief Minister now. I will, of course, finish what's going on. And I'm going to burn pretty much every speed up that I have. Now, the one thing I'll do first is also get myself some resources because I have used a lot of them. So, yes, blah, blah, blah. I don't care. Give me all the resources. So I'm going to go myself to maybe like 1 billion of everything. I don't know how much I'm going to use, but at least at 1 billion, I'm not going to get bored getting asked about this resource every 2 seconds. Okay, so that looks good enough for me. Now, we will do... I'm going to go up here and basically anything that's not finished, I will try and finish up. In terms of the best status, of course, you would focus the troop type that's best for you. If you are, offensively attacking a lot, it's going to be good for attack, as well as for bear. Archer attack is obviously extremely good, as opposed to if you get like cavalry defense, well, it doesn't really do much for you. But if you're a garrison leader and you're using 60-40, well, cavalry defense is good for you. So for every player, it's going to vary a little bit. If you're into the lower, like free-to-play, low spender, you're mostly joining rallies and doing bear, well, you would go more for archer-focused stuff. But, I mean, it will obviously be very high amount of speed-ups days, so it's not like you can do anything anyways. You will just do what you can, slowly but surely. As I said, also, don't neglect this, because the amount of resources that you get from these, and these are not very long, like 5 days, it's really not bad. So don't neglect them. I'm going to finish them off, why not? And, of course, when we're into the 5 days, these helps are very good at the beginning. But now that I have days and days, like it's a few hours total, like, and I have the speed up buff, like I don't want to waste the buff, so you can let it go a bit higher. But right now there's not so many people active that I'm going to wait. And if you could get it to 51 at every research, you would definitely get more value out of your speed up. Okay, so this one, and then max. So I just have this row left to do. I will obviously finish them all. Okay, enough of this blah blah. And then after that, that's all of them done. And it really will add up with time. And as I said, you are going to need a ton of resource at the end when you have all this Truegold research and the T11 and TG8. There's a lot of stuff that requires resource, and they are very intensive in resource, so it's really good to do. Now for growth, I've done pretty much everything. I'm on the last row here. I have a few ones left to do. I find the training speed one to be extremely worth it, because this allows you to train way more troops. So I mean, mine is super long, like 17 days. However, the buff is really good, especially if I had it yesterday, it would have been better. But of course, I mean, I'll have it for next time, hopefully. This one also is, 15 days. This one for healing speed, also very decent. But in general, with batch healing, I find it completely useless, to be honest. Same at the capacity with batch healing, unless you're getting zeroed and you're AFK, which, this would help you for that. Otherwise, not really. And the construction speed up, I don't find so useful, because I always have enough construction speed up to go through all of the things I'm building. Now, right now, I have everything at TG5. I have nothing left to construct, and I still have like speed ups for construction. So I'm not saying it's never going to be useful. It's not my priority. And then the research speed, this one definitely I would say is really not wasted. 2% on 9 days and 10 days is very good. So if I'm going to do a lot of research, this should be probably one of my first priority. But you can see that it's requiring like, a lot of days. So I'm going to go through everything that I have very quickly here. But I mean, it's definitely worth it. Like 18% here. I mean, I'm going to go through pretty much all of my speed up in like seconds doing this. But I mean, it's very good. Now to finish up, I'm going to do a little bit more of the battle ones, and I'm going to focus on the ones that are like 4 or 5 days. That way I can finish off those ones that are short, and then afterwards I can queue up for like 15 days research, and then not have to really look at it and bother with it at all. This one, I like the ones that do squad, because that boosts all of your troops. So I find that they have like a double amount of value. And if it's just troop specific, I mean, they're still good, but I find those squad ones to be a bit more worth. And here we go. I'm pretty much at the end now. I have only 3,000 minutes, which is not enough to finish this research. So that's it for me. The research is now done, and I have gotten about 5 million points from it. A little bit of those points are also from missions that I've done. Now, next, we are going to go into the governor gear. Now, for governor gear, again, I would say use the optimizer to get really the good data for you to know what to go for. Of course, these bonuses are very good to get. This is where you try and balance it. Like, you go basically in waves of 3. You get 3 gear at the same level, then 3 next piece at the same level. So some of them don't fall behind. So you can see I have 6 of them at the same level right now. I'll bring 3 of them to the next T1 level, hopefully. And then that'll be it for me, probably. So you can see that I've saved up a lot of these materials right now. So I'm doing pretty well on that. So I will enhance it to T1, then I'll go the other one, infantry, enhance to T1 as well. So let's go to this one, T1. Now you can see here I have the bonus. So for me, the optimizer does say to bring pretty much everything to T1 if I can. So I will be doing that. And if I can't reach it, like as you can see now, I'm out of little things. One thing you can do here is the material exchange. So this is something that the one that have 5 remaining per day are usually decent value to balance it out, but the one that are 550 per day, a little bit less, because you can see like here I get 1k for one and here it's 500 for one, so I'm paying double the price. So you're losing like 50% of resources doing that. Okay, so now that we're done with the governor gear and the research, you can see that I'm at 11 million points, so my ranking's at level 13, so very decent. And now we are going to go into the hero gear. Now I did use a little bit of hero gear to make a video regarding red gear right now, so make sure to check that out in the next few weeks, as I'm going to post my in-depth guide on red gear and priorities and what to go first. Now for me personally, I did go through the optimizer and I checked what I need to do, and I have a lot of saved up material, as you can see here. And as you can see here, I have a lot of extra gear here, so I am going to bring the Petra gear, so all of my 2 items that are best per hero types, to level 20. So first, this one I'll catch up, so I'm going to imbue it here, as I have enough mithril to do it now. There we go. So that's level 20. Now my next gear is going to be this one, so I'm going to ascend it using these 2 pieces of gear. It's going to ask me to go to mastery level 10, which I'm going to do. There we go. 1 more piece of gear. Very expensive, but luckily I've been saving for a while. And then I ascended to red by using 2 more pieces of gear. Here we go. Yeah, I don't care. Here we go. Now more pieces of red gear. Now I'm going to go to enhance, and I'm going to bring it to level 20. So obviously it starts at level 19. Then you need to imbue with the mithril again. More pieces of gear. There we go. Boom. So now I have 2 pieces of 20, 2 pieces of 20, 2 pieces of 20. Now my next priority, and this is nothing that has to do with having any points in KvK. I've been saving up a lot of these for no reason, just because I like to do these videos and show you guys like as big of an upgrade as possible at once. My next thing is going to get everything to level 100 and get their mastery level caught up a little bit. So here we go. That's level 100. There we go. And this guy as well. So we will get everything here to level 100, just because, you know, I'm ready to kind of like, you know, have everything ready to go to red. I'm not going to bring everything to red, but when you bring everything to 100, then you also kind of want to bring everything to level 5 mastery forging, because that is going to, you know, give you a good amount of stats. It's like plus 50 stats. So 105, 105, 105 here, and then 105 here. Now, obviously, I have way more of these hammers, so I'm going to probably be able to bring all of them higher up. But for me, I want to bring all the infantry gear now to red. That's going to be my priority. Infantry is always really, really good. So for that, I need them at level 10. So I'm going to bring everything infantry here at level 10 and everything infantry here at level 10. And then, of course, I'm going to also do this because, you know, level 11 is what you need for red gear. So I'm going to do the same thing here. And I'm going to have to go get some more orange gear from my bag soon. Now that is red gear. Now I'm going to send this as well to red gear. There we go. Just getting it to level 1 red gear just looks cool too. So another reason to do it. So let's see if I can bring this piece to plus 20, which I believe I can. But you can see now I've run out of things. So I'm starting to go into my gear. So I won't be able to imbue so much more gear. But I definitely can imbue enough. So I'm going to come into my bag. I'm going to do this and get 2 more pieces of gear here. And I will then imbue this piece of gear with these 3. And there we go. So now I have this piece at plus 20. Now, if I want to bring this piece at the next level, you can see that I'm going to most likely run out of stats. Actually, no, I have quite a lot of these. I have a lot of these blue gears. So at plus 20 here. And if I want to bring that to here, I need more gear. So there's many ways to get it. But for me personally, I have been saving some of these items on like heroes that I don't care about. So here we go. Now mastery forging, we get 1 piece of gear here. And now we do imbue and 3 more pieces of gear. And then boom, now I have enough mithril to do it, I think, once more. So I could try and go for, like, let's say this one at plus 60, but that is going to be insanely expensive. Now the optimizer is telling me to basically bring everything to like level 10, which, you know, I will be able to do, I believe. So I mean, I'll do that. Like, this is the best way to get, you know, a lot of extra stats. So forge hammers, you know, have good value here, but like it does drop in value now. Like the need for forge hammer is a lot lower. The need that I have now is going to be gear and mithril, so it becomes a much different roadblock. Now I could go for archers to focus on offensiveness capacity, or if I want to do 60-40, I can go on cav. So the way the optimizer is telling me is I should probably go on the cav chest and then do the archer chest. So let's ascend this piece. I've unequipped a lot of gear from my purple heroes. There we go. at red. And then I would probably even want to bring this one to red as well. There we go, chest and chest. And now let's see, you know, I will enhance it as much as I can. I think I will get a roadblock here from the enhancement eventually. I have a lot of gear. Yes, I don't care about purple. Yes, you can see this is pretty much the max that I can do. Now imbuing this one, I have just enough mithril, and here we go. Boom, level 11. I need one more piece. So here we go, and here we go. Now boom, now we got this piece at plus 20. And the last one I could be doing is this one at plus 20. So I'll need one piece of gear here. And that's it. That's the forge hammers that I had. So that's exactly what I need. Now I am able to get this one to the plus 20. And I mean, that's going to be exactly it. I have nothing left here, and I have nothing left here. I have no material left, almost no legendary gear, but I was able to get almost all of my gear to the red level. So the next step will be getting these pieces up to the red. I mean, I can technically do this, but it's at red level 1. There's nothing else I can do. Like, let me use everything I have. That's it. Now I'm emptied out, so looks good. Everything is pretty much red, and that was 2+ months, almost 3 months of saving for these items specifically. So it's not something I can do every time. I'm pretty happy. Now my power is at 268 million. I was at 178 before this started, so I've gained almost 100 million power. If I can squeeze just a little bit more points here from maybe a few other like pet items and stuff, like little leftover that I have, I will do it with gathering and mission. So I'm trying to get just as close as 100 million possible. Now you can see that today I got 27 million points. I'm ranking at number 5, which is very decent. Obviously nowhere near all these crazy whales, but very, very decent for my account. And that puts me at rank 13 for the week, which I'm guessing I'm going to stay in the top, 15 to 20 most likely. But I'm very happy with my current progress, and this is going to make my account way stronger for stuff like Swordland. And then you can see that 51 versus 49, it's still extremely close. Now this is still very early, like we're going to go over 1 billion for sure in that day. And for my next video, which is going to be the KvK war aspect of this, so of course make sure to subscribe and watch out for this video, because it's going to be a very good fight. I think very close, and you can see that we're going to fight against some very strong opponents, because they have massive whales as well. And especially this one, he's like almost 1 billion power. And we have this guy who Xander has gotten almost 700 million. I mean, he's more than double this power on this KvK. And of course, our top whale, True, who is now at 2 billion power. That's going to be a massive KvK, so make sure to stay tuned for that. This was about it for the Kingdom of Power prep phase, one of my biggest one by far. I'm pretty happy with the results. So thank you guys for watching. Let me know your comments about my push, if you think I should have done anything differently, or if you have any extra tips for others in the comments. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow on the war video.